Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The honorable judges, audience, and all participants this morning. I hope that you all have a beautiful and peaceful day. I'm Bilal Alhudaybi from Senior High School 1 Sindang of Indramayu. And today, I'd like to deliver my speech titled, How Millennials Can Deal with Futuristic Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, people used to say, man, I hope there will be flying cars in the future. This is an indication that we would always have high hopes on futuristic technology because we believe that one day, futuristic technology would shatter our hindrance and open the gates to our desired paths. But before we continue down the rabbit hole, I'd like to explain the definition of our main topic, millennials and futuristic technology. Nielsen Media Research has defined millennial as an adult between the ages of 22 and 38 years in 2019, while experts define futuristic technology as an application of scientific knowledge for purposes that's ahead of the times, innovative, or revolutionary. Ladies and gentlemen, technology continuously shapes us in these modern days, and we depend on it almost every day in our lives, because technology are able to simplify many elaborate tasks and issues in these modern days. For example, in this pandemic situation, without the help of gadgets like smartphone, smart television, laptop, or PC, we may not be able to do almost every single work that we got. A futuristic technology is one of the things that we desire to have, because we believe that it could accomplish many tasks that seems impossible to do with the help of technology in this era. Some of the examples of futuristic technology that now have had a lot of usage by us and nowadays have been produced massively are smartphone, computer, electric cars, and many others. According to the website Statistica, smartphones have more than 3 billion users worldwide. And when smartphone became possible to be produced massively and had a lot of usage by us like nowadays, our perception towards it changed drastically, because we used to register it as a form of adequation for someone because simply it was pricey, and having it would bring many remarkable advantages for us, from being able to access the internet easily, being able to draw with pencils and papers, being able to play video games, and many other advantages. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the website Antech US, 48% of companies report tech performance issues daily. So with this data, we're supposedly normal with a tech malfunction, right? Some of the times, there's only a feeling of frustration towards it when it occurred. Some of the times, we would feel angry towards it when it occurred, which could be a form or a sign of depending too heavily on technology. But luckily, it never reached a point where it could seriously damage our life. So, lots of us wonder, what would occur if our today technology would function like the robots in science fiction movies, which are installed with AI. Well, what is the definition of AI, or artificial intelligence? John McCarthy, the founder of artificial intelligence discipline at Stanford, defined it as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer programs. It is related to the similar task of using computers to understand human intelligence. But AI does not have to confine itself to methods that are biologically observable. Some examples of AI that we use in our daily lives are digital assistants, social media feeds, music and media streaming services, navigation and travel, and many more. So AI has been in our life, and we might have perceived that AI is very futuristic and very ahead of this time. like from science fiction movie where the robots could understand the human needs, and where there are self-driving cars or maybe flying cars and many others. But we actually use it in our daily lives without even noticing the slight existence and the services that it has provided for us. We might think that AI is only applicable for advanced robots and machines. But the platform that we use for this competition, ASEED, would also be considered as an AI. It's everywhere around us. But having it in our life, in our daily life, doesn't eliminate the odds of failure that could occur by the AI. Even Bill Gates, the CEO of Microsoft, stated that AI could be both promising and dangerous. And there would always be a slight fear towards futuristic technology. And the generation that should be concerned about the performance of futuristic technology and the possibility of it deviating are the millennials. Because according to pewresearch.org, 52% of millennials, 52% are considered as technology users, whereas Generation X has 50%. So knowledge about futuristic technology is mandatory for the millennials. So how do they face the unwanted outcome that futuristic technology could create in the future? 1. Millennials need to know how to work with it. Because if they don't know how to work with it, they'll never know how it could work and how it could also bring disruption towards us. 2. Millennials need to stop depending too heavily on technology, because depending on it too heavily would make us feel lazy to do many activities that doesn't involve it in the process, which would lead into procrastination. We would always feel often stressed and disappointed when technology that we usually use on activities suddenly isn't available at the time or at the moment if we depending too much on it. 3. Millennials need to understand the full potential that technology could give to them, so that they'll know what kinds of deviation that could come from the current and futuristic technology. 4. Lastly, millennials need to be able to create innovation with it, because we still need technology to develop. So it's a must for them to continuously produce products that could give benefit to many people. So ladies and gentlemen, we and the millennials need to know those steps so that we could deal with the possible outcome that futuristic technology could give to us, whether it's positive or negative effect. At last, if Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher and the student of Epictetus, stated that observe always that everything is the result of change, and get used to thinking that there is nothing nature loves so well as to change existing forms and make a new one like that. Then we need to be able to morph into the modern society, because if we can't do it, we won't be able to do good for ourselves and many others around us. So that's why we need to understand how futuristic technology could work. We just need to master it and become an expert about it. As long as we understand the correlation of humankind and futuristic technology in a simplistic way, then we are ready to live in this modern society. And we are ready to use the technology, the current and the upcoming technology, for the greater good of humankind itself. And that's all from me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.